Facebook, microphone check. Comment section, microphone check. Microphone check. Microphone testing. Microphone testing. Facebook. YouTube microphone check. YouTube microphone check. YouTube microphone check. YouTube microphone Come on, champion. YouTube once again, microphone check. Time for shutdown, time for action, time for decision, time for redemption, time for revenge, time for victory, time to claim a position. Hazzard and Ceazer, one of the biggest, not just the biggest, one of the best rivalries you can ever have, maybe in the entirety of African pool. They are meeting in a small competition but with big consequences. Hazzard Lokoma, Ceazer Chandiga. Final of a weekly comp that is happening here at Amigos Pool Arena in Kansanga, in the capital city of Uganda, in Kampala. They are racing to 7 for fame, for pride, for money, of course, for bragging rights, for a chance to be called this week's winner at Amigos. A live commentary is starting shortly. Hazzard Lokoma seems not to have yet. The match is already underway, still talking to some fans, sending out for water. When these guys face off, it is not just about winning the match, it is about beating each other. Big rivals. Hazzard at one time believed that he was the best player in the country, and you think that he has the right to think so, until came a guy called Ceazer, who came in to the equation. The likes of Ibra, likes of Mansour, Hazzard is challenged. Spent a big time of his career in South Africa and Zambia and partly Zimbabwe. Returned to the country in 2022. Since then, he started a rivalry with the likes of Ceazer, the likes of Kasozi, the likes of Mansour and others. He is bullish on the table and in a personal life wants to claim a status of being the best player in the country of Uganda. Sometimes he has performed well enough to, sometimes not enough. Nonetheless, he remains entertaining when he is on table. He's leading 1-0 in the final, in which final you can never say never. He has beaten Ceazer so far 4 times this year, Hazzard. If I'm to count the list, the two players did have a money match in which Hazzard had started with +6 racing to 21 at Dice Lounge in Kampala with $1,200 at stake. That match was won by Hazzard. Ceazer was stubborn enough to claim a rematch with the same offer at stake, only deciding to change the venue, which was Climax Bar, also in Kampala. Not a big distance from where we are. You can even foot to that place in about 20 minutes. That match was also won by Hazzard. And then just around 1 month ago, the two players decided this time to have it without any head start at all, racing to 21 for $1,200 again at Dice Lounge, the home of Hazzard. It did end 21-11. A big cushion of victory. Match was won by Ceazer. But also Hazzard did take down Ceazer in a final of a tournament that was dubbed the Creme de la Creme 16-1 competition that did go on at Dice Lounge. Also earlier this year, the two guys met in the final, which was a race to 16. It ended 16-11 with Hazzard winning. Another final in which Hazzard did defeat Ceazer was the one that was held at Hashtag in Nansana. It was a race to 8 and it did end 8-5 with Hazzard winning. As Ceazer fouls, be reminded that he has also taken down Hazzard a few times this year. A final of a tournament, a weekly comp that did happen at the Kamwacha Pool Center, the ones that normally do happen on Tuesdays, just around 5 weeks ago, just before Ceazer left for China for the last time that he did go for the World Heibo Masters Series at the Bayern Station. That one ended in a decider, racing to 7. It ended 7-6 with Ceazer winning. And of course, before then, 2 tournaments prior of the same comp, Ceazer did take down Hazzard in the quarterfinals. I remember it ended 5-1. Good, impressive results between themselves, too much competition. Hazzard, sometimes by his facial expression, in my opinion, sometimes takes matches between himself and the Ceazer personal. I want to think that sometimes it even affects his general game. I do respect him as a very talented player. At least today he's looking a little bit calmer, maybe because he has had a very good start. The two have without a shadow of a doubt been the best players in the competition, no doubt about that. If you did watch the semi-finals, I'm sure you did. They were happening. At the same time, Hazzard did take down Ibrahim Kanja convincingly, while Ceazer was taking down Rashid Wagaba Dog City convincingly, both with 6-2 scores. In the meantime, this match is live on two platforms, Break and Finish Live Facebook and Break and Finish Live YouTube. Please feel free to serve yourself by watching it at a platform of your own liking. Hazzard leading 1-0 and looking to make it 2. Maybe it is his time, his chance to take down Ceazer again in the final. If he does, it will be the third time only this year. Hazzard up against the black, about to go to nil that up. Yes, he does. Hazzard 2, Ceazer 0. Once again, race to 7. Our lovely Facebookers, Swallowing St. Jumva, Isaac Sikaundi, asking about the race, guys. It is race to 7. Shane Bollis, Kasumba James, and all of you who are already approaching your 800 and yet over 400 are watching already on YouTube. Very lovely to see over 1,000 people watching the same game when the game is only 2 frames old. It is a mark of how guys are interested in African pool. It is also very encouraging to us as streamers when you guys decide to come and watch these games in numbers. I always make use of this chance when games are watched as beautifully as this one to say thank you, Africa, for watching. Thank you, the players, for entertaining us with your lovely talents. Thank you to their management teams that always inject money into these players. Sometimes, not sometimes, all of the times, the management teams do not have anything to benefit from this. Just enjoyment, just passion. And also to the organizers for always making sure that these comps are there to keep these players practicing, to keep these players competing, to keep them in shape ahead of even bigger events. And this one, according to performance in the last 1-2 years, the guy queuing on table is supposed to be the biggest of them all, Ugandan players. He will be very unhappy with himself should he lose this frame. Will I say lose this match? Ceazer. Nowadays, if there is one person he would really not like to beat him, it is Hazzard. And yet Hazzard, a very stubborn character, very bullish character, on and off the table. Sometimes it makes you angry just to make it easy for him to beat you. And I'm also thinking that the fans who are around the 200, they seated and standing around the two tables where we're having a third place match as well as this final, are seemingly majorly supporting Ceazer, because very few ululations and chants when Hazzard was winning in the first 2 games that he did. Should Ceazer win this one or the next, I will want to hear if they roar like they normally roar when he's shining. A match that has a keen interest of Dice Lounge, the Dice family, as Hazzard's management team are called, but also a match that is being followed keenly by the Advanced Talent Agency, as Ceazer's management team is called. That was a little bit complacent of a shot, a little bit careless. There is no guarantee when you are banking, when you are doubling. Sometimes instead of banking, sometimes instead of doubling, you could probably go for a safer option. And Hazzard, especially the Hazzard of late, the Hazzard of this year, many of the times is absolutely playing top class pool. That giving him chances like this will be so unkind and uncouth, unwavering, unforgiving to his opponents. He has won so many competitions this year and so many matches. He's one of those guys who have been the best beneficiaries from competition this year. Last year, of course, Ceazer did beat Hazzard in the biggest of them competitions in which they can ever meet, and it was a final of the Nile Special National Open Pole Championship, Uganda's biggest competition, the car competition, winner taking away a car. The very first time I saw Hazzard broken after defeat and inconsolable, shedding a tear from a guy like him, to the effect that his manager, Mark Mozongo, director of the Dice family, did decide to console him by buying him a car. To the effect that now both of these players have their machines parked outside the arena, waiting to drive home after the games, driving from playing pool. Meaning that if you don't believe that pool can be a rewarding sport, maybe you need to think twice. 3-0 in the final of this weekly comp that is happening at Amigos in Kansanga. The guy that is about to break is the guy that is in the lead. He is in the mode. He is not in the exact kind of mindset he normally is in finals. The mindset he normally is when taking on Ceazer today, he is calmer, he is confident, he's not wearing a very tough face like he normally does. Hazzard, I'm starting to think that he's now the favorite for this final, especially leading 3-0, even if the guy he is leading against is as good as Ceazer. He's deciding to be barefooted for the final. I think he was feeling that the shoes were not comfortable for him. Maybe they were a little bit small size. The last time I saw a player deciding to play barefooted, actually two of them from Zambia. One of them was called Popcorn Machine. By nickname, I came to learn that his actual name is the Soldier, Edward Kateta, actually known as. Did play many matches in Kampala in 2016 on bare feet. I also witnessed the guy called, is it Chile Bobo, also from Zambia, playing on bare feet. Guys were taking bare feet up to the African Championships until the regulations came out and dictated on the dress code of the respective national teams. But from a human perspective, a guy that has been playing pool today from around noon up to now, last 5 matches, very competitive matches by the way, you will understand when he decides to play bare-footed. Every time that Hazzard is inspecting the table, Ceazer can only wait and watch and maybe pray that he gets another chance to play. Seemingly he will. The kind of white ball Hazzard has given himself is not the kind of white ball he will be proud of. Where is the yellow going? It is a chance for Ceazer to play. Some of his fans are starting support him. He has some of the most vocal fans, if not the vocal fans across the continent, Ceazer. One of the matches that surprised me the most in terms of fans is when he did have a money match with the Eden in Johannesburg at Flames, which is supposed to be Eden's home ground. The guys were having almost equal number of fans between themselves. In South Africa, up to now, I cannot believe. And I know that the biggest of them all, the guy who supports him the most in South Africa, Mareza Sifo is watching this match, just hoping that Ceazer wins and then disturb us on social media. This one is seeming like a frame in which Ceazer is pulling one back. Every time he puts a ball, some very passionate fan shouts his name. This time he was 98% accurate. Simply needed to put the ball. It's needed the ball to move just 1 extra millimeter rightwards, and he would be in business. For now, Hazzard is still in business, leading 3-0. Seems he's potting and getting white ball to play snooker. Not only is he shooting well, he's thinking well and acting well, deciding well, and so far winning well. It is a perfect snooker. Franklin De Bruyne, you say you want Hazzard versus Ibra. It is unlikely that we'll have that match because, okay, these guys have different management teams, but apart from management teams, there are pool clubs for which these guys play in the league, and they happen to play in the same pool club, and yet the directors of the club are the people who form Ibra's management team, so they wouldn't stake against Hazzard, who is a player in the same team they manage. I hope you understand that. So a match between Hazzard and Ibra is possible, but not very likely. What is very likely here is Hazzard to be going 4-0 up after this foul by Ceazer. This one will be Hazzard's free shot, just to get the white ball in position to put yellow ball to the center pocket. Good brains, good thinking, and good acting, good execution. The rest, for players of this level, I like to say, is a formality. Here we are, backspin, drawing the white ball backwards to around the midway of the table. Nothing short of accurate, nothing short of confident, and nothing short of perfect for Hazzard so far. The better player in the first 4 games without a shadow of a doubt, and he now leads 4-0 against Ceazer. The race is 7. Can I see someone in the comment section advising if you think it is possible for Ceazer to come back from 4-0 down, trying to take down Hazzard today? Okay, 4-1 for Ceazer to reinstall his confidence, maybe to reinstate the confidence of his fans at the venue and his fans online, that he can make it, just to try and affect Hazzard's accelerator, because the guy has really started this match on fire. And I want to dedicate this match to Hakim Chigundu, the director of the Advanced Talent Agency, the game changer of Ugandan and African pool. Lots of plans coming up, lots of activities, all aimed at benefiting these players, not that just these in Uganda, but also those who take pool as a profession, especially all over the African continent. The ATA is coming. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, exactly 600 you are, and yet only 50 have liked, including myself. Don't be bad mannered. Please like and let YouTube recommend this same video to other viewers, other YouTubers. The more you like, the more YouTube does so. Please proceed and just click that like button, the thumbprint on the left, bottom left of your screen, especially those of you who are watching from a phone. And if you're watching on Facebook, kindly don't hesitate to share the video, most especially if your Facebook friends are pool lovers like yourself. Thank you for adhering. In those 20 seconds, about 40 people have liked. As Ceazer tries to mount a comeback, which after Hazzard went 4-0 up, I started to think that it was very unlikely. But this guy, when he starts winning, sometimes can be a little bit scary. But a game like this, I just don't know. He's making baby steps to try and open it up. That shot will be helpful for Ceazer, I want to believe, because now even if he doesn't finish off the game, of course the yellow game is so bad, almost close to ugly. At least the black is pretty much now a dead ball, to the effect that should Hazzard finish off his 2 reds, it will be difficult for him to see off the black. DJ William Bald, thank you for watching. You are on Peter Chebe on Break and Finish YouTube. Monyaradzi Manyere, you think there is no turning back for Ceazer? Okay. Top News Media, you say you are watching from California. All right, welcome to the stream. Cherry Japheth, you think the guy shouting Ceazer's name is so annoying? By the rules of engagement, the regulations of the tournament, fans are allowed to chant their favorite players' names as long as it is their players who are on table. While his noise may not be all that beautiful on the ear, at least he only supports when it is Ceazer's turn on the table. If he does not, he will be out of order, and the organizers will be bringing him to order. I want to believe that it is in Uganda where fans are so passionate more than anywhere else. But the biggest amount of noise that comes from the fans is from Zimbabwe. Alala, those guys, eh? A mark of a skilled player. Drawing the white ball backwards when the white ball was not in space. He is class. Hazzard. Pacquiao. Welcome to the stream. Nakabale John, who is normally a player, normally the guy that we are watching. Today he is watching. Tell us who you're supporting. Pacquiao. Wellington Kudzange, thank you for watching. Wayne Codden. Oops. What should have been one of the best shots of the tournament had he pulled it off, because there was no natural movement of the white ball to try and open up the black. But the guy used big spin on the white ball with a lot of energy. He almost got it. Not until he had the white intercept. There was just that brief discussion between the players when Hazzard was asking to play from the cushion. Then Ceazer advised that there was just a small part of the black which Hazzard was seeing. So even after playing off the cushion, it had to be a Lego shot where either the white ball or any other ball did touch the cushion after contacting the white ball. Here he is again. Does exactly the same shot. You want to think that Ceazer, in his normal vein, will be clearing this game. He would, even if it were not a final, even if we are not down against Hazzard. Clear statement of intent, gets white ball, which if he puts the corner pocket top right, moves naturally to get white ball for the second corresponding yellow for the corner pocket on the left. If he does, getting white ball for the black ball would be a formality. And here we are, and yes, he does. A touch of class, a touch of form, a touch of redemption, and here comes Ceazer. Hazzard in the lead against Ceazer. Timeout. Hazzard. Only 3 minutes granted. I'm assuming that Ceazer will be using those 3 minutes simply to be warming up, to allow his body remain warm ahead of the most crucial time of the tournament, which is ending in maybe 20 minutes or so from now. Once again, Lokoma Hazzard 4, Chandiga Ceazer 2, rest to 6. I think Ceazer is not just where he already knows he's already sure that Hazzard can live off half chances, can win in full chances. He will surely win when you foul when playing against him. He's in rich vein of form. He's shooting confident. He's being taken good care of by the Dice Lounge family. That the reason why his game this year has really improved to a level that he is a threat to any player on the African continent. He will not be a threat to any player when he gets himself snookered. I want to think that he rightly played to open up the area around the center pocket on the right for him to get himself white ball for the last yellow, which is just parked near the cushion, but the movement of the white ball, the yellow is parked near the pocket, but the movement of the white ball did not favor him. He has the white ball behind one of Ceazer's reds, maybe two of Ceazer's reds. He's in some kind of trouble. I want to think that it is possible for him, even in the straight shot, to try and find the yellow, but off the cushion. I, however, don't think he can pot it. Unless these guys, either him, even his opponent, Ceazer, sometimes they simply need a chance to play. Hazzard is playing to find the yellow, but find it by entertaining the crowd. His stance is of someone who wants to play mass shots. But you want to think that should he curve the white ball around the red, the white ball will be going to a direction where even when he finds his yellow, still there will be no way that he will be potting, because the only direction of movement of the white ball, if he were to pot, was off the cushion on the right, in which case there is a big likelihood that he would play Ceazer's red first. The red that is just behind the yellow ball, the one and only yellow ball on the table. But because Hazzard wants to pot, he's deciding to go off the right cushion with somewhat spin in the white ball to try and find the yellow. He's normally so good coming off the angles. It is one of his biggest strengths. He almost found the yellow, but sometimes almost is not big enough. Advantage, Ceazer. Combined total of over 2,000 people watching this video on Facebook and YouTube respectively. Once again, thank you, Africa. Ceazer will most likely be playing the red ball, I think, off the yellow, not only to displace Hazzard's ball, but also open up the pocket and then make a clearance that will take him within only one game of Hazzard. Off the cushion and off the yellow. Perfect shooting. He will be making light work of the rest of the reds on the table. You see no way that Ceazer could fail to finish this frame. Even a weak player like Francis Mkwekwe would be finishing this game only if he trains hard. I'm kidding, eh? He went for a shot which I like to call arrogant when there is another option. Nonetheless, he pulls another back after Ceazer going 4 games down. He has won 3 in a row himself. It is now 4 for Hazzard and 3 for Ceazer. Race to 7, 6 games to go if we are to plate the wire. Of the 6, Hazzard needs 2 and Ceazer needs 3. Actually, Hazzard needs 3. It is a race to 7, not race to 6. Once again, a race to 7. Ceazer needs 4. Hazzard needs 3 of the remaining 6 games. Hazzard needs 3. It is a race to 7, not race to 6. Once again, a race to 7. Ceazer needs 4. Hazzard needs 3 for the remaining 6 games. Evangelist Steven, you say your team Ceazer and Peter Chobe, and you say thank you, Jesus. I will take that as a compliment. But I'm not a sportsman. I'm not a player. I always like to tell you that you should be team one of these players. As for me, I'm just a service provider in the game. I know there will be a war of words between the fans of both players, between the both sets of fans, irrespective of which the result will be. This year alone, no shade of a doubt, Hazzard is having superior head-to-head performance over Ceazer. And maybe he's the only player with that kind of statistic. While a player like Ibra has beaten Ceazer twice in those weekly comps. I also do remember Ceazer beating Ibra twice earlier this year. While Joseph Kasozi is Ceazer's stubborn opponent, it is Ceazer who has been defeating Kasozi most of the times they've been facing off. Ceazer's problem player this year has been none other than Hazzard, the guy he is facing again in today's final. Or will I say tonight's final? Maybe we'll ice this morning's final because it is already now midnight, East African time. Here in Uganda, it is already Friday morning. It's a lot of bravery, even attempting, even thinking, even believing that you can go for a game as bad as this red game, especially because of the red he's about to play. He intended to get himself the white ball to the extreme left end of the table, hoping that he gives himself white ball to cut the red ball to the corner pocket top left. White ball is seemingly not good enough, at least by Hazzard's body language. Danko means thank you. That is Peter Luke Davids teaching us on YouTube. Is it pronounced Danko or Danko? One of those rare misses by Hazzard that he has been having in this match. They've all been coming in the last 4 games. He already knows that Ceazer can decide to be very unforgiving when unforced errors come by, when misses come by, when chances to play come by, especially when it is a final, when he has the victory in sight, when he has the money in sight, when he has a chance to beat Hazzard in sight, especially also when he has a score to settle. He has only one relatively bad ball, Ceazer, on the table. The yellow ball crosses your screen. His intention was to get white ball for exactly that ball, but seems he's not very convinced, not very contented with the resting position of the white ball because it has a relatively sharp cut if he were to roll it to the corner pocket bottom left. Nonetheless, he seems to be making his mind to play exactly that ball. Should he miss it? For him, it will be one of the most dangerous shots in today's final.
Thank you.
Will he put? He knows he must. He misses. Misses entirely. The yellow ball moved to the center pocket. It almost opened up Hazzard's red and the black, which are packed at that pocket. Ceazer is only lucky, just a little bit lucky, because Hazzard's balls, the reds, are kind of not good right now. And how about that for a game opening shot? Still the shot is okay, the execution is okay, but no luck for Hazzard with the resting position of his reds. I also want to say that it's still advantage to Ceazer. Special thanks to Amina Faith Nganda, captain of the national ladies team of Uganda. She's the person who organizes the Amigos weekly competitions that for the last 2 weeks were happening on Saturdays. For this week, she's deciding to have it on Thursday. In fact, she intended first to have it yesterday. She just did not want to divide the attention between the weekly comp and yesterday's big money match. That's why we are having it all tonight. That's why we are having a final here. I want to think that it is a tournament and the final that is getting exposed the strengths and weaknesses of both of these players, not just them, also 30 others who have been participating for the last 8, if not 9 hours. And yet in the 8th game in the final, Hazzard prematurely puts the black ball in Ceazer's advantage. It is Hazzard 4 and now Ceazer 4 started out as a race to 7 is now officially a race to 3. 5 games to go. Both of these players need to win 3 to take the win, the victory, the money, the pride, the bragging rights, and chance to be called Amigos Pool Arena weekly comp champion in the 8th edition of the comp this year. Hazzard 4 and Ceazer 4.
That's good. Now what?
In the meantime, there are cash prizes for the top for these weekly comps. Have little money. I want to make a disclaimer. It's about winning. It's about trying to test where your level is at. It's about checking your confidence, checking your level to execute, and the preparation for even the bigger comps, which are normally up and coming. And when it gets to the month of September, it is the preparation for these players, especially the players who are this big, and I'm using the word big cautiously, ahead of bigger events which are normally coming up later in the year. For Hazzard and Ceazer, the Grand Mchana Open Championship this November, Nairobi, Kenya. For Hazzard and Ceazer, the Billiards Cafe Double Elimination Competition this October in Lusaka. For Hazzard and Ceazer, the Queen's Sports Club Double Elimination Competition in Bulawayo. For Ceazer in particular, the African Heibo Championships in Marrakesh, Morocco. And for Ceazer, Ultimate Pool African Chapter, Marrakesh, Morocco, in about 6 weeks from now. And also for the both of them locally, the National Open Pool Championship, which has a brand new car for the winner, as well as cash, which is about $1,500 US for the guy. For the guy that comes first. There are also prizes in that tournament for the top 16. There's also a cup for the lady who wins, and the cash prizes for the top 8 ladies. Most of you are watching on YouTube, we are asking if Ceazer is going for Ultimate Pool in Morocco. For now, I will say yes, only pending acquisition of visa to Morocco, which the Advanced Talent Agency is taking very good care of. The expectation is that probably by the end of the month, the visa will be secure for Ceazer and also for Dog City. Hazzard is having a discussion with the fans, especially the fans of Ceazer, that they don't have to chant when it is his turn on the table. The visa will be secure for Ceazer and also for Dog City. Hazzard is having a discussion with the fans, especially the fans of Ceazer, that they don't have to chant when it is his turn on the table. The visa will be secure for Ceazer. Hazzard is having a discussion with the fans, especially the fans of Ceazer, that they don't have to chant when it is his turn on the table. The visa will be secure for Ceazer. There was that little issue to settle. Hazzard, maybe it is mind games, maybe getting on the mind of the fans themselves. Maybe it is something that is understandable, because it is seemingly clear that the arena is about 80% at least in support of Ceazer. So he was just having a talk with the guy who has really been shouting Ceazer's name not to do so a lot, because Hazzard seems to be not very happy with it. A mind game it is. Pool is played in the mind before it is played on the table. As Ceazer banks that shot, as his fans celebrate it, I'm not so sure he will be happy with the resting position of the white ball. He can clearly probably not put any of his yellows going for the center pocket. Put yellow off yellow. Oops. He went for an entirely different shot and got it entirely right. Sometimes he produces magic when he needs to perform magic to try and win. In one moment, it was a very bad game, a very bad yellow game for the Scorpion, and just in the very next moment, it turns into a very good game for the same player. That is exactly the difference between good players and the very good players. And should he make this clearance, in my opinion, it will be one of the very best, not just in the final, but also the tournament in its entirety. Puts one of the yellows, gets the white ball as though he did place it by hand. This one will create celebration from the fans because it is very convincing of a clearance, of a frame, of a time to lead for the first in this final. There we go. Hazzard 4, Ceazer 5, rest to 7. I just left it for you to see for yourself if at all Hazzard has been heartbroken and shaken and down because of the 5 games in a row that Ceazer did win. He has just demonstrated Hazzard that he has been down but not out. Even after losing 4 in a row, he finds a way to win a game and win it by Apple. By single visit clearance, it is now 5-5. It is now race to 2. Thanks for watching. Giddy Brown, you're watching on YouTube. Ivan Lutalo, my good friend Ochiti Emma Patingo, you must be watching from somewhere in Gulu. A legend of Ugandan pool, but most especially a legend of pool in the northern Uganda. One of the guys that are the cause for inspiration behind the Ceazer. Once upon a time, the very best player in the northern region of Uganda is looking at the new guy who is the best player in the northern region of Uganda, who is now making a claim to being one of the best players on the entire continent of Africa. I know that Ochiti, you are supporting and praying for Ceazer. I'm not so sure that the answer to the prayers for yourself from God will be yes. I'm not so sure. Nonetheless, Ceazer to break. A very important break. It is very important for either of these players to be the first on 6 goals. And yet, it is a fair break. Ceazer does sink in 1 yellow. What is seemingly about to happen could be a clearance that could take Ceazer to game number 6, most likely than not. There is no single bad yellow ball on the table. The only matter, if you're a player of Ceazer's level, and most especially if you're Ceazer himself, that you will be mindful of the position of the black ball, because it is a dead ball, almost interlocked with a red. But I want to think that it is almost obvious that Ceazer is going for the yellows. There we go. Ceazer playing yellows. Where is the white going? White is safe. Safe for now. It seems he's getting himself white ball, not only to pot but also open up the black ball. Sometimes he is so predictable. Not just predictable, but beautifully predictable. He gets himself in some kind of trouble here. I'm not so sure that there is straight passage of the white ball to hit any of his yellows to put them straight. Maybe the yellow ball of the 3 yellows that are around the middle of the table, the one in the middle of the 3, maybe off the other yellow which is near the center pocket on the left. Pot yellow off yellow is always innovative and elaborative and adventurous. Sometimes when he's in trouble, I like it because he starts to entertain by getting himself out of trouble. This time he simply played to have Hazzard's reds frozen against the cushion. When you are in trouble, at times it is a solution to also get your opponent in the same kind of trouble. Too tight, too tense, too close a match, and yet it is a final. Anyway, between 200 to 250 people are at the venue, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pool tables on all of them. There is no single casual game that is going on. All of the people are deciding not to play. They are watching the final. It will be the talk of the venue, the talk of the area, the talk online for maybe tomorrow, maybe for a few more coming days as to what really transpired in the final. Lucky are you who are deciding not to sleep anytime now. Those of you who are watching it unfold in front of your own eyes in real time. Hazzard 5 and Ceazer 5 final. They are watching the final. It will be the talk of the venue, the talk of the area, the talk online for maybe tomorrow, maybe for a few coming days as to what really transpired in the final. Thank you for watching Kana Adventures. You are watching from Nairobi in Kenya. Grace Ainembuzi. Well, the intention was to play snooker by Hazzard. It was good brains at work. The execution was maybe slightly off because I think Ceazer can fully see the yellow ball closest to your screen on the right. If he puts it well, moving the white ball towards the halfway mark of the table, I think he could be home and dry with a 6 here. Plays the easiest available option. If it were not a final, if it were against a lesser fancied opponent, Ceazer would have been something a little bit magical. And I want to think that he has a good degree of respect for Hazzard, and it's because of such kind of respect that sometimes he plays under pressure, the pressure that has caused him to miss a ball where you wouldn't expect him to miss. Advantage Hazzard to be the first to 6 in the final, to need 1 out of the 2 more games that will be left in tonight's final. 5-5, Hazzard going for 6. He led 4-0. He lost 4 games in a row. He won a 5th himself. Then an equalizer came. And now Hazzard is seemingly getting himself in front again after going 4 games up. You'll just thumb up to him for remaining calm and composed and lethal, even when Ceazer has been fighting like a wounded lion coming from behind and equalizing against the same Hazzard. Accurate cue ball action. We'll get a tip from one of his fund fans for today. We'll have no problem with that one. Going for the black ball for the 7th time in the match, because he has missed it only once, and there he leads again. Hazzard 6, Ceazer 5. 2 games to go. Ceazer must win them all or else succumb to second position, succumb to a 5th defeat to Hazzard this year alone. After what seems to be like a very good break for Hazzard, please keep me company for the next 2 or 3 or 5 minutes if Hazzard makes this clearance, or for the next 10 minutes if we are to have this match go to a decider. The game is open. Both yellow and red have been potted on the break. We have 6 yellows and 6 reds and a black on the table. Hazzard with a chance to make a clearance to win the competition, which, if I'm not mistaken, will be around the 6th this year alone. He's been in business this year, maybe more than 6. He's so far won around 3 at this venue alone this year. He's won in Nansana, he's won in Chiwatule, he's won in Rushere, about 250 kilometers west of Kampala. He's also won many matches, twice against Ceazer, once against Kasozi, once against Dog City. He did have an unfinished money match on Dog City. We will take all of his time to think out the most effective shot. When it is a final, when it is the game you need to win to become champion, you don't need to go fancy. You need simply to go effective. He will need all the experience he has had for the last 9 years, ever since he became known as a competitive player, just to win this one game. And if he does win it, it will be one of the sweetest victories. Even though the money he's winning is small, it will be one of the sweetest he would have had in this year, especially because of the weight of his opponent, because of the nature of the game, the fight in the game between both players, but also the result itself. He plays a safety shot. I'm just not so sure if allowing Ceazer a chance to play is safe enough. Most likely, Ceazer could respond to safety with safety. There he goes. Could he hide the white ball behind the black? It was the intention. Not even behind the black. Behind the red, one shot in which he snookers 3 of Hazzard's yellows, allowing him to see only 1, which is also not portable. Hazzard will want to occupy the pocket with his ball, which he does. And I'm sure that both players will be so mindful but also so wary of the center pocket on the right, because the center pocket is partially occupied by Hazzard's yellow, but it also has Ceazer's red. Behind it, I'm not so sure there is any favorable position where he could place Hazzard, the white ball, for him to pot that yellow ball inside or so close to the pocket. $2,300 people watching this final live on Break and Finish Live Facebook and YouTube respectively. Once again, I never get tired to say thank you, Africa. Thank you, Mike Mickey's Facebook. Thank you, Calvin Mayo Mabuda. Thank you, Davis Ahumuza. And being very mindful and very wary, Ceazer decides to kill the black, to make the black a dead ball. Brains at work. At the break, the frame was in favor of Hazzard, and Ceazer was very quick to realize that. He's just ensuring that he finds ways to get himself back in the game. Hazzard has a chance to right his wrongs, to make the game better, to make Ceazer's balls even more dead. The action of Hazzard is seemingly intended to getting his yellow ball occupy the pocket where Ceazer did have a black ball dead. Ceazer responds to safety by safety. And I know that most likely Hazzard too will not be potting in his next shot. I want to believe that Hazzard wants to make sure that he wins this tournament by winning this ongoing frame, because if it goes to a decider, normally the momentum is on the player who will be coming from behind. And what a story it will be if it went to a decider, because Ceazer went 4 games down. It is 6-5 right now. You think he's already demonstrating a very good fight in him. He could make the fight even more effective if he wins this frame, if he takes this match to the wire. And there we are. Probably wants to pot Hazzard and open up the black ball. He didn't get the shot right. The idea was there, but under the pressure, the occasion of a final, the imagination that it will be the most determinant shot of the tournament, of the match, of the final, under the weight of expectation, Hazzard blundered in a very important shot. Advantageous for him, he gets another chance to deliver on the same shot because Ceazer's reactionary shot ended up not occupying the pocket with his red entirely. There is space between the corner pocket, the jaw of the corner pocket top right of your screen, and Ceazer's red for Hazzard to pass his yellow. As long as he makes a very sharp cut of the same yellow at about 80 degrees, moving the yellow ball rightwards, he could pot the yellow, especially off the red, and maybe if not, open up the black ball in the same shot. Once again, Hazzard gets the shot wrong. This one is the most hard-fought game in the final, and one of the most hard-fought games in the tournament entirely. Ceazer, like Ceazer normally does, plays one shot that is most likely winning him this frame, that is most likely taking us in the final to the divider. I want to say shout out to Robert Onekalit, a doctor, member of the team The Scorpion. I know he cannot stand to treat his patient right now. I know that when Ceazer is playing, he can hardly concentrate, especially when it is a pressure game as is this one. Ceazer gets white ball just to move it naturally towards the top left of the table for him to play the would-be two remaining reds to the corner pocket top right, just like that. Will wants to move the white ball around the red, play the inside red first, doesn't get the shot right. It was always a more difficult shot, it was always a little bit risky. The connection was not easy playing the outside red first, it wasn't easy, but it was way safer. He's seemingly giving Hazzard a chance to play again. He'll want to play safety shot, hide the white ball behind the red, which is what he does. But I don't see Hazzard fouling here. Easily off the cushion, he finds the yellow ball near the center pocket, and just like that, we'll be getting Ceazer in trouble, this time with a capital T. Oops! I just cannot believe my eyes. Not for a player of this level, not in the final, not when your opponent is Ceazer, not when you have a chance as big as Hazzard did have. There was no need going for power, no need playing to risk potting the white ball. He simply needed to find his yellow off the cushion with minimal energy. Ceazer was always in trouble. Instead, it is Hazzard in trouble. Ceazer doesn't believe his luck.
Thank you, thank you. Nice shot, nice shot.
I don't think it was Ceazer's intended objective, but I think it will do. He wanted the white ball to bounce off the cushion, get it behind the red ball to put the same red ball to the corner pocket near where Ceazer is standing right now. He only gets white ball for the corresponding corner pocket on the left. Nonetheless, an effective shot. He has the skill in his hand and in his mind to get white ball for the black. He goes for the easiest of all of them shots available. A sign of trying to lessen the risk factor, which is the right thing to do when it is a final, when you could lose the match if you lose the ongoing frame. He's up against the black. There he goes. He misses. Pressure, nerves, final. Hazzard gets an opportunity to take down Ceazer for the 5th time this year alone. He's up against 3 yellows and the black ball to become champion of Amigos for the 3rd time this year. One of the most successful players in the country this year. Has won tournaments, has won weekly comps, gets Ceazer to submit and to accept defeat and to concede defeat in the final. We are seeing Hazzard win a competition this time. It was always obvious that he was winning. The matter of the 3 balls left, he would win them. He would put them sometimes even with his eyes closed as the fans start to disperse. The final result for tonight's weekly comp in the final has been Hazzard 6, Hazzard 7 and Ceazer 5.